Tesla's finally ready to show off their electric truck to the world. Hey you, it's me, Curtis B. It's time for some coffee. Tesla has officially started sending out invitations to its upcoming semi-release event happening next Thursday on November 16th. Originally, Tesla had planned to show off the all-electric truck last month, but due to their work helping to restore the electrical grid in Puerto Rico, they had to push the event back. Now, the company has been rather quiet about the brand new truck specs, though Elon Musk has rumored that it'll have a record-breaking torque and handling for a truck of its size. But we don't really have to wait until next Thursday to really see the truck, as many photos and video have already been leaking online. One photo showing off the truck in a parking lot here, and another showing off a truck doing a stop-and-go test on a city street. Now, you'll notice this truck doesn't look like the other truck in the photo, but you can see the same truck in the parking lot of the other one. So my guess would be that basically it looks like a standard diesel truck on the outside, but on the inside, it's got all the electrical internals. Tesla also saying they're hoping to have this brand new truck into full mass production in the next 2 years, but really, the company probably should be working on that Model 3 first because they're having some issues over there. Which really brings us to the next story of the day here. Tesla's having some serious problems with the Model 3 production. So far, only 222 of the cars have been produced. That's far fewer than the company had originally promised. Right now, over 400,000 people are waiting around for their pre-order to actually arrive. And with such a low production output, that could be a very long wait for some people. Elon Musk had originally predicted that by the end of 2017, Tesla would be producing 5,000 cars a week. But in a recent letter sent to investors, the company had to push back that projection to 2018. Musk pointing all of the blame at a third party right now, saying an outside supplier, which is responsible for a part inside of the battery pack, has dropped out. And Tesla was forced to start creating the part in-house, along with reworking their software to work properly with this brand new part, something they had not accounted for in the initial date projection. So Tesla is trying to ensure investors they will deliver the cars to people who have pre-ordered, but thanks to all of the Model 3 issues, Tesla posted a loss of $600 million in the last quarter, which is not good. Keeping with the electric car news here, big news coming out of Europe as a group of automakers has announced they're forming a brand new company to build a network of 400 fast-charging electric chargers across Europe. BMW, Daimler, Ford, and VW have announced brand new initiatives to build 400 chargers by 2020, hoping to compete against the likes of Tesla, who already has 7,000 superchargers around the globe. This, of course, is great news for people in Europe. My only hope here is that something like this is rolled out in Canada and the US. Though the Canadian government has recently announced they're building a number of charging stations across the country, which is a great sign. Next, for a few seconds last week, Donald Trump's Twitter account was suspended, which sent the internet into a bit of a frenzy here. Really, it was nothing more than a Twitter employee's last act before leaving the company. But surely it was one of the funniest in recent memories. Nothing says "screw you, Donald Trump" than deleting the president's own Twitter account before leaving work for the last day. Now, Twitter did reactivate the account soon after, and Donald Trump tweeted, "My Twitter account was taken down for 11 minutes by a rogue employee. I guess the word must finally be getting out and having an impact." GoPro has announced they're working on a brand new low-cost replacement for the Hero Session camera. This coming 2 years after the company laid off a bunch of employees, closed a number of departments, and had those issues with that Karma drone. They're working to get back into the basics, recently having announced the Hero 6 camera, and now working on a brand new camera to replace the Session. Bad news though, for fans of the Session form factor, the new GoPro will have a different form factor altogether, and is expected out in 2018. Alright, now last Friday was a big day for many Apple fans, myself not included though, because damn you Apple! Where's my pre-order? Side note, I got word this morning it shipped. So it said it was coming in 2 weeks. Bam, shipment notice. So thank you, Apple. But anyway, many customers were of course getting their hands on the new iPhone X devices last week, but apparently 3 men just couldn't wait. Last Wednesday, 3 men broke into a UPS truck that was parked outside of an Apple store and stole 313 brand new iPhone X devices, worth up to $370,000. Now, good news for Apple, bad news for the thieves here. Apple did have a record of all of the phones and their serial numbers, so I can't imagine the company is gonna let them be used anytime soon. It's highly expected that Apple would just blacklist all of the serial numbers, meaning the phones wouldn't be able to be activated, and thus they would never really get past the setup screen if they were to be used. But of course, this sucks for people who actually get suckered into buying the devices. So a general word of warning to anyone thinking about buying buying an iPhone 10 from anyone other than like Apple or like a carrier store, make sure you check that the thing actually works. Open the packaging and try activating the phone, because if you buy the phone and it can't get past the activation screen, you may have just bought a $1,000 paperweight. And last for today, let's talk about drones, because DJI is trying a little bit harder to train brand new drone pilots in Canada. DJI held a press event in Canada recently asking Transport Canada's help in creating a brand new drone flight test that users would have to complete before they could fly their drone for the first time. The goal is to set up an in-app test that would teach new users the best practices in Canada to fly their new drone. This, of course, comes after recent regulations that were put in place last year, basically limiting how people can fly drones in Canada. The real issue there is that there's really no way to make sure new customers understand the regulations unless you do something like a test. So that's what DJI hopes to do. So a basic rundown of how that would work in the future is when you go to Best Buy, you buy your brand new drone, you get it home, and you try to set it up for the very first time. You'll be prompted with a small test on the mobile device connected to the drone. So you go through, you read all of the information, then you do a little test, and once you've passed the test, you're good to go. It's a pretty simple idea, and really, like, personally myself, I think it's a great way to teach people about the proper ways to fly their new drones safely, and of course within the laws of the land. But of course that's just my personal opinion. So a great question for all of you, what do you think about having to complete a test before flying your drone? Do you think it's the right way to teach people the new rules, or is there a better way to go about it? Let me know in the comment section, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the show today, make sure you click on that subscribe button, and of course join the notification squad so you can stay up to date on all of the latest videos I post throughout the week. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. Links to all of that are in the description down below, or at my website at curtisparody.ca. Well, until tomorrow, I'm Curtis Parody. Have an amazing day.